It's Taco Tuesday!
Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy Taco back on another Tuesday, delivering you guys a new game review. Now, I do have two montages for two different games in the works, and I'm very excited to share those with you this month. But for today, we are back with Assassin's Creed Valhalla and the newly released DLC, The Siege of Paris. For those who have been following the channel, I've already reviewed Assassin's Creed Valhalla's base game itself and reviewed the first DLC of the Season Pass, Wrath of the Druids. You can find both of those reviews in the description. Now, as a heads up, I am a huge fan of the Assassin's Creed franchise overall. I've been playing it since Assassin's Creed 2, and although I don't agree with the direction the game's headed in with the past 3 games or so, I still enjoy them for the historical playgrounds that they are. So before I get into it, as always, smashing the like button and subscribing if you haven't would be greatly appreciated to support and help grow the channel. And feel free to join our Discord, linked in the description, as a great place for fellow content creators, gamers, and just chill people overall. Now, based on all information from Reddit, leaks, and everything else, Siege of Paris was supposed to be the bigger of the two DLCs of the Season Pass in terms of the story, the world, and the overall content. Now, for fans of the show Vikings, or maybe history overall, Ragnar Lothbrok sieging Paris is a major event in this time period, and one that I was really looking forward to, and that made me super excited for this DLC to finally be released. The Siege of Paris story starts in Ravensthorpe, where visitors from Paris, members of the Viking Siegfried's clan, have visited to gain your support. Siegfried, the leader of his clan, is looking to avenge the death of his brother, who was killed by the Franks under King Charles the Fat. Toka, his niece, is another new character that serves as your close ally and really the voice of reason throughout the main story. Without going into any major story spoilers, the main story for the majority of this DLC is rinse and repeat. The Vikings, or Northmen, are obviously seeking riches and plunder, and the corrupt church is behind some evil, human sacrificing shit where Eivor has to come and save the day to prevent the Frankish army from ultimately moving their ambitions onto England. We saw this in the main game and in the Wrath of the Druids DLC, this kind of copy and paste of this weird religious cult that is killing the innocent for their greater beliefs and to gain power. The only interesting piece in all of this is that King Charles is like possessed. He's talking to himself with like two different voices or change voices, and really has no grip over the country of France whatsoever. And then your main ally, Siegfried, he's battling his own internal conflicts, which causes some issues and differences of values between him and Eivor throughout. For the most part, the story sticks to the repetitive template that a lot of the latest DLCs and Assassin's Creed games have fallen victim to. And really, it shows a true lack of creativity on Ubisoft's part. I don't think I've actually played Assassin's Creed games for their story, since maybe Assassin's Creed Origins, but I'd even go as far to say Assassin's Creed Unity, which actually was the last game that took place in Paris. Without harping too much on my issues with the franchise overall, I'll save that for a later video, but the biggest reason why you'd buy and play this DLC is because it offers the potential of a new location to explore, with the benefit of riding around on the back of a bear, which is very interesting. The world design for the Siege of Paris DLC was done exceptionally well to where it's truly distinctive to other parts of the game. A lot of time is spent in the catacombs or underground parts of Paris. There's rats continuously biting and attacking you as you're looting chests and exploring.
Oh shit! A rat! There's a rat! There's a motherfucking rat!
The cities for the most part are ruined and filled with the downtrodden, which strongly contrast the vibrant countryside locations. There was actually less shooting red bars behind doors in the DLC, which I know was a pain in the ass for most people who wanted to just loot a house and move on. Now, the world also presented a new enemy type, which was nice to see, this tankier cavalry soldier. Additionally, one-hand swords and scythes were added into the game, which you'll find gameplay of me using, and that combination of the two was pretty badass. In terms of side quests, there wasn't anything too memorable. They added these stone stacking activities throughout the world, which just seemed to be placed there to prolong your time spent on the game. They did, though, add a new legendary animal, which was a bull that put up a pretty decent fight, and then a lunatic lord living amongst sheep that wanted to battle it out with you. I mean, that was probably the best in terms of side quests. Very similar to Wrath of the Druids in that regard, where the side quests are more just checking icons off the map compared to a Witcher 3 Wild Hunt or even a Red Dead Redemption, where the side missions actually offer a greater immersion into the world. There was a refocus towards the hidden ones, which we didn't see in Wrath of the Druids. Nothing really groundbreaking though. I mean, it was just a bit of background on the hidden ones' time in Paris, where you had to find a few keys to some hideouts. It was cool to see, but would have preferred to have that more integrated into the main story itself. The big add for the side content in this DLC though was the rebel missions, which were similar to the birdhouse missions that you saw in Wrath of the Druids. They weren't really difficult at all. You do a task like killing a few enemies, and that increases your infamy, which allows you to level up a squad of NPCs that come along with you, but really they just kind of end up watching you kill everyone. But when we're talking infamy, we're not talking, Ezio gaining infamy where, he's spotted easier in the streets. It doesn't really have any impact on your actual gameplay from my understanding. It's just kind of a way for you to do more missions and unlock some rewards. Overall, the main story and completing most of the side activities should take you around 10 to 12 hours depending on difficulty. If you combine this with the Wrath of the Druids DLC for the overall expansion pass, you're looking at about 25 hours or so of gameplay for $30, which isn't bad if you enjoyed the base game of Valhalla like myself. Then you'll be inclined to buy the season pass to play these expansions just to get more time in the historical setting playing as Ivor. Personally, I flew through this DLC in about 2 to 3 days. Although it was more of the same of the main game and the previous DLC, I just enjoyed being re-exposed to the world of Valhalla. The story wasn't particularly gripping, as I already mentioned, but I just enjoy exploring these settings and shredding through enemies with my overpowered, somewhat mystical weapons. Now for me, I'm going to give the Siege of Paris DLC a 78% and would only recommend it to those who have already beaten the main game and just want an excuse to revisit the world. I hope one day we do return to the more large, vertical cities and play as a true assassin like Ezio, but one can only hope. If you did enjoy this review and me sharing my thoughts, please drop a like and subscribe for more. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see me review any past AC games like Odyssey, which I never actually finished, or if I should drop a video discussing the state of the franchise overall and how it's going to move forward. As always, thanks for showing your support. It's greatly appreciated. Until next Tuesday, I'm out.